There's a claim that's been bouncing around the internet for years. It says the human body can withstand 45 Dell units of pain, but childbirth produces 57 Dell, and getting kicked in the balls generates over 9,000. 9,000. Sounds definitive. Sounds scientific. One problem: the Dell doesn't exist. Nobody invented it. Nobody measured it. Someone fabricated a unit of pain, slapped it on an infographic, and millions of people shared it without blinking. Now, there was a real unit of pain once. In 1947, 3 researchers at Cornell University, James Hardy, Harold Wolff, and Helen Goodell, built something called the doll, from the Latin dola, meaning pain. Their method was simple. Focus radiant heat onto a volunteer's forehead, increase the intensity, and ask them to rate it on a 10-point scale. It fell apart almost immediately. Every volunteer experienced the same stimulus differently. The unit was quietly abandoned. The whole system failed because of one uncomfortable truth: pain doesn't sit still long enough to be pinned down. And yet the argument hasn't died. Which hurts more, childbirth or getting kicked in the balls, has fueled 1,000 debates, none of them settled. So let's try something harder than picking a winner. Let's figure out why this question refuses to have one. Your body runs on billions of nerve cells, but most of them handle the mundane: temperature, pressure, texture. Nothing urgent. Scattered among them is a different class entirely: nociceptors. These are your body's emergency broadcast system. They stay silent during ordinary life and only fire when something crosses a damage threshold: a cut, a burn, a crush. Their only job is to make you stop whatever you're doing. Some nociceptors are fast. They produce that sharp electric jolt, the one that yanks your hand off a hot stove before you even know what happened. Others are slow. They roll in after the initial shock, delivering the deep, nauseating throb that stays with you. That dull ache after a blow, the lingering burn of torn tissue. The fast ones save your life. The slow ones make sure you remember. And your body does this on purpose. Pain is designed to ruin your day. There's a rare condition called congenital analgesia, a genetic mutation that shuts off pain completely. Sounds like a superpower. It's closer to a death sentence. Children born with it chew through their own lips, walk on broken bones for weeks, burn themselves without flinching. A physician interviewed by the BBC called it one of the most dangerous conditions a person can have. Many don't survive past 25. Pain isn't your enemy. It's the bodyguard you never hired, loud, aggressive, obnoxious, and the moment it clocks out, everything falls apart. So why does a strike to the testicles hurt like that? Start with the engineering problem. Your testicles have to hang outside your body, not because evolution was careless, but because the chemistry requires it. Spermatogenesis, the process of building sperm, needs temperatures roughly 5 degrees Celsius cooler than your core body heat. Proteins won't fold correctly in the warmth of your torso, so evolution pushed them out into a thin skin pouch with almost no structural protection, a vital reproductive organ, dangling in the open. Your brain compensates by wiring them with one of the highest concentrations of nociceptors in the male body. Any damage could end your ability to reproduce, and reproduction is the one outcome evolution guards above all else. But the true nightmare begins after impact. The pain doesn't stay local. It floods upward into your abdomen, sometimes your chest. You might double over, you might vomit. That's the vagus nerve, a direct highway from your groin to your brainstem that, when hit hard enough, can crash your blood pressure and hijack your nausea centers in seconds. In rare cases, this cascade can turn fatal. The same vagal reflex that causes nausea can trigger vasovagal syncope, a sudden collapse in blood pressure that destabilizes the heart. These cases are extraordinarily uncommon, but they reveal something important. Your body isn't overreacting to a groin strike. It is treating the event as existential, sounding every alarm it has because from evolution's perspective, those stakes couldn't be higher. Now shift to the other side of this argument, where the pain isn't a single detonation, but a siege that lasts hours. In 1960, the anthropologist Sherwood Washburn named a problem that had shaped human evolution for millions of years: The obstetrical dilemma. When our ancestors stood upright, the human pelvis narrowed to support two-legged walking. At the exact same time, human brains were expanding, and human skulls along with them. The result is the tightest fit in all of mammalian birth. A chimpanzee delivers its offspring in roughly 2 hours. The fetal skull passes through the birth canal with room to spare. For humans, the average first labor runs 8 to 12 hours, and the baby's head has to rotate during descent because it physically cannot pass through straight. The fit is so tight that the bones of an infant's skull actually compress during delivery. They overlap by design to make it through. If you've experienced this, or if something entirely different tops your personal pain ranking, I'd genuinely want to hear what it was. And the entire time, the uterus is contracting. Not gentle squeezes, powerful muscular convulsions that trigger two distinct types of pain simultaneously. Visceral pain from the uterus itself, deep, internal, radiating through the abdomen, and somatic pain from tissue stretching and sometimes tearing, sharp, localized burning. The contractions arrive in waves. Early labor might give 5 minutes between each one. By active labor, that gap shrinks to 90 seconds, then 60, then 30. It compounds. And this is the core difference. A testicular strike peaks in seconds and fades within minutes. Labor can sustain near-peak intensity for hours. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists describes active contractions lasting 60 to 90 seconds each, with diminishing rest intervals, a sustained crescendo with no guaranteed endpoint. The pain of childbirth may not spike as sharply as a direct groin strike, but it is relentless, and it doesn't stop until it's done with you. So which is worse? Here's where the question falls apart. In 1975, a psychologist at McGill University named Ronald Melzack published something that changed pain medicine forever: the McGill Pain Questionnaire. Instead of asking patients to slap a number on their pain, he gave them language: throbbing, stabbing, burning, aching, crushing. 78 descriptors organized by sensation, emotion, and intensity. For the first time, doctors could compare pain across patients and conditions. And it still wasn't enough. Because two people with the same injury, identical fracture, identical nerve damage, identical mechanical stimulus, could describe completely different experiences. Not slightly different, wildly different. This wasn't a flaw in the questionnaire, it was a discovery about pain itself. Pain isn't just a signal traveling up a wire, it's a construction. Your brain takes raw nociceptor data and edits it, layering in context, memory, emotion, expectation, even cultural conditioning, before you ever consciously feel a thing. Melzack had actually predicted this. In 1965, he and his colleague Patrick Wolff proposed the gate control theory of pain, the idea that your spinal cord contains a neurological gate that amplifies or suppresses pain signals before they reach conscious awareness. A soldier wounded in battle might feel almost nothing. Survival mode holds the gate shut. A person dreading a needle might wince before it touches skin, because anxiety swings the gate wide open. Your mood, your focus, your memories, they all have a hand on that gate. And this is why which hurts more has no answer. Not because we haven't measured carefully enough, because there is nothing fixed to measure. Pain is real, but it is not a quantity. It is a personal, unrepeatable experience, and yours will never be identical to anyone else's. So here's what we can say honestly. A direct strike to the testicles produces one of the sharpest acute pain spikes the male body can generate. The nerve density, the vagus nerve cascade, the near-total lack of structural armor. For a few minutes, on any scale, it's a 10. Childbirth rarely spikes to that same instantaneous peak. But it can sustain near-peak intensity for hours, wave after wave, with no off switch. One is a grenade, the other is a war. But maybe the most important thing this question teaches us has nothing to do with anatomy. If pain is genuinely subjective, if your brain builds it fresh every time, filtered through memory, expectation, and emotion, then arguing about whose pain is worse is missing the point entirely. You will never know what another person's pain feels like, not approximately, not roughly, never. The only honest response to someone else's pain isn't a number or a ranking. It's something much simpler. I believe you. If this changed how you think about pain, there's a question that goes even deeper. How your brain decides what counts as pleasure and what counts as agony, and why the line between them is thinner than you'd ever expect.